Hi everybody, welcome back, or welcome if you are new. In today's Vlogmas video, we are talking about my home projects that I would like to get through in 2024. This list is a very long list. I know I'm not going to get through all of it, so I'm going to have to figure out the priorities, and I will be adding those into my planner here later in the video. In the priority, I kind of want to do them and the importance of the things that I want to do. So let's go through the list that is right here in this notebook that I have. And again, this is a very long list. It's not going to all get done. It's just things that I'm thinking going, these need to be done. So the first thing is I need to go around all the outside windows, take off all the old caulking around all of it, the sealant, all of that type of stuff, and redo all of that. It honestly, I can go up to half of the majority of these windows and just pull the caulking off of the brick and off the window frames, and that is not good. So I need to do that, but it is now too cold to do that, and so I'll try to get it done early in the schedule, but for now I can't do it right now. The next thing, again with the windows, I need to go through and repair all of the screens because little kitties, mainly outside kitties, but there's one cat that actually busted through a screen before I put the kitty gates in front of the windows. I need to go and repair all the screens. So mine have the, I think they're like the aluminum frame screens. So I just need to get the piping and the screen material and the tool to actually do it. And I should be able to do the majority of the screens. I then also need to, on the two, like the guest bedroom and my office bedroom, office windows, I actually need to get all new frames. And there is this, I think it was on Shark Tank, but it is like flexi screen or something like that, where the frame for the screen is flexible. And that's what I need for those windows, because those windows are not quite square on either of them, and the actual frame of the screens are bent because I had to bend them to be able to get them to actually fit into the window. And yeah, so I'd like to spend some money and get those screens done and everything. Now, when I'm talking about room refreshes, the main priority is to remove all of the carpet through the entire house by the end of 2024. So there are some rooms, kind of like this room that I'm in. I don't plan on doing much like painting in here. It would be the concrete that I would be painting and the baseboards around, but the rest of the walls do not need to be painted. I believe I painted them in 2021, and it doesn't need to be repainted, and just maybe move furniture around or something like that. I, just give it a small type of refresh just to, kind of make it look a little bit different, but not completely. So, but that's the goal, is to have a refresh of my office, refresh of the guest bedroom, a refresh of the laundry room, TV room refresh, front room refresh, which is the room I'm in, dining room refresh, kitchen refresh, and back entry refresh. And I would like to get the wood floors also pulled up by the end of the year, but we'll see how much I can get done. So when it comes to office, guest room, and laundry room, those rooms need to be refreshed from top to bottom. The office, I really only plan on buying one piece of furniture to add, and maybe blinds for that window, and I think that should be it. Should be, but I need to paint, I need to do, top to bottom on those rooms. Guest room, I pretty much want to completely redo the entire guest room, new furniture, new everything in there. The laundry room, I need to repaint. I am actually going to try to keep the linoleum in there, although I might, since I pulled up the carpet in the hallway, be able to go ahead and take the linoleum off, but that involves moving water, you know, the washer and dryer and all of that type of stuff. Also, when I do that, I want to have a technician come out and look at the washer and dryer because it has been a couple years since I purchased those, and I just like to give them a good thorough deep cleaning and make sure they're all running properly and everything in there. And TV and back entryway. So TV room, it's rip out the carpet, and I don't need to paint the ceiling, but when I painted those rooms in 2021 and painted the TV room and the back entryway, I only put one coat of paint on the walls. So I'd like to put a second coat of paint on the walls in there just because it needs it. I thought that the one coat would be enough coverage, but it's not quite. You can kind of see the paint roller marks, so I need to kind of clean that up a little bit. So, but other than that, those rooms, it's remove the carpet, the wood floor, and pretty much everything is just going to stay the way it is. The back entryway, I'm probably going to get rid of the bench, the litter box bench, and get litter boxes like I have in my bathroom. And those just seem to be working. That one seems to be working the best for the cats. And because I have a couple of them that are little high sprayers when they're in there. And yeah, so that box is working a lot better than the other boxes that I have tried. Now when it comes to the dining room, it's the same thing. I just need to rip out the carpet and redo the trim paint the trim and paint the floors. So not much in there as well. Kitchen, it's just the flooring that needs to be done. However, I may try to do something with the cabinets because I like the wood cabinets, but I will have to see how it looks with the wood floor. So that might be like a couple month project or something like that. Maybe wait until 2025 to work on some of that. So I'm gonna try to get the carpet and the wood floors completely ripped out by the end of this next year. And I need to paint the outside of the garage is one thing. I need to power wash the house because it just needs to be power washed again. And there are some areas that I have not quite power washed in a couple years and they're getting a little mildewy. So I need to kind of clean that up. I also need to power wash all the concrete, the sidewalk, the driveway, the back patio. I think I did the back patio last year or this year, and that's all I did because the water bill was kind of high, and we've now fixed that with a new water meter and everything. So, and then it's by blinds for the TV room, office, and my bathroom. I have yet to do that. So the TV room, because that room has big windows that are on the back patio, it is a vaulted ceiling. It gets very warm in there in the summertime, and I would just like to be able to have blinds that I can close in the middle of the day because the curtains are just kind of like decorative. They're not made to insulate or do any of that. So I'd like to get some blinds. I don't want to put that heat film on the windows because when I do put that heat film on there, I start to the house is really dark and I don't like that. So knowing that with the blinds, it's easy enough to blinds, shades, whatever I decide on, I am able to pull those up and down and, you know, not have them down all the way because the cats like to come in, but, you know, just at least a little bit of something to kind of help with the insulation on those windows because they are single pane windows. And with these long summers where we're in the over 100 degrees, it's not fun. And I am also, the last thing that I have on here, I purchased shelves for my garage ages ago and they are still sitting on the floor, and it's because I had to figure out mentally and subconsciously figure out how I could get it, like the railing lined up correctly with the studs, because the studs are not evenly spaced with the holes that are needed for. So there are multiple options on this where I just basically drill through the railing where the studs are actually at, so make a new hole so that way I can put a screw in where the studs are at, or I have to add studs or some support system type thing along where the holes are. So those are my two options, and I will have to just figure it out. I do actually now have a drill bit that can drill through metal, so I might actually do that instead, just because it just, however, I'll need studs along where I have the down railings for the shelves and the drawers. So it is still a work in progress, and I'm gonna have to think about it, but it is time to clean out the garage. I am gonna try to get out there this week and kind of try to do a little bit of a clean out in there, and not necessarily pull everything out, but really get in there and just try to reorganize some things. And because it's been over a year since I got in there and did a cleaning and all of that type of stuff, and since I bought the shelves, so it really needs to be looked after. And since I'm on vacation this week, that would be a good time to actually get in there and do some work in there and everything. So now we're going to go ahead and move into actually putting these into my planner. So we are back here in my humongous Franken planner, where I have my weekly planner right here, and then my budget planner is right here behind it. And part of the section for the weekly planner and the notes section is for home projects, to just kind of keep a running list of projects that I'd like to get around to and all of that, like we just kind of mentioned. So I am not going to do anything special with this list. I've printed out some stickers and cut them out. And I have this one titled Home Projects that I'm just going to throw way up here. And like I've been doing with my cleaning logs, or not cleaning logs, but TV logs and book logs and all of that, I am just going to underline it with this mild liner marker. And then we have my list of home projects right here. And we are going to also look at the goals that I set in place for 2024 for home projects, which is down here in this section. And the first three things are get carpet out of the house, window coverings for the summer, and window caulking. So those are the three important things. There was another one that I added in here while I was talking about these, and I cannot remember it now for the life of me. Oh, window screens. Window screens. So those are the four things. I'm definitely going to put those at the top of my list on out of this stuff, and then we will just go from there on that. So we will, if there's any more that I think of throughout the year, I will add them here on this list, and hopefully we can get these scratched off and going through for the rest of the year. So I hope everybody enjoyed this video and kind of a look at what kind of projects that I want to do for the house. Again, it is a very long list of things to do. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through all of them, but it is definitely something to work on through the year and try to get them done. And if I can combine some of the things, so like removing the carpet from the front part of the house and then the wood floor, and then we just work on refreshing all of the rooms kind of at once. So it's like the back entry and the TV room need to be painted. They are kind of joined together in a way, so it's not really a good way to just stop between the two rooms on painting. It's just best to just continue painting because they share one big wall on the back side of the house. And then when you're looking at painting trim and all of that type of stuff, if you're going to pull out all of that stuff, so that might be something that I look at doing, kind of a whole front part of the house refresh type thing, where I just pull out the carpet, pull out the wood floor, and then paint the walls that need to be painted, and then work on painting the trim and all of that type of stuff, painting the floors, you know, because it's a big room. Big, I mean, that's a big open space. So if I can get all of that done at one time and all of that, and just, you know, deal with it, that is something that I'm definitely going to look at when it gets to that point, when I get to there. But first, my main focus is going to be the office refresh, because I'm ready for a refresh since I work in this room the majority of the time, and I'm just ready for a change in here to make it a little bit more exciting every time I walk into the room and all of that type of stuff. So that is it for today's video. I hope that you will check back on one of my next videos, and if you are interested in any of my other Vlogmas videos that I have already posted, there is a box around here. I think it's this corner, or it might be that corner. Sure. It's one of the corners, so I hope that you will check back on one of those, or check in on one of those previous videos. Thank you everybody, and have a wonderful day. Bye everybody.